Okay, elite ball knowledge has been a word that's made me furious for a while, so I just want to rant about it. Okay, so what is elite ball knowledge? You may be wondering. Well, you probably know, but basically, from my understanding, it means a word or like something that is very not common knowledge, the opposite of common knowledge, something that most people don't know. And, I was good with this word for a while, this phrase, until I got, okay, I know, this is where I went wrong. I got Snapchat. Terrible decision making. It's like the second worst social media platform. Like right there with Twitter. Like, this is Twitter, this is Snapchat, this is like Instagram. It has like those, actually no, that's like Kick. This is like Kick. Sorry. It has these cycles, of terribleness. And Snapchat is mine. So, sometimes you go through Reels. And like, Snapchat, you know how terrible the Reels are? Because they all suck. What's even worse is the idiot commenters. I don't think I've ever seen a smart person in those comment sections. Ever once. I don't think I've seen a single intelligent person on Snapchat comment section, ever. So yeah. When I'm talking about elite ball knowledge and Snapchat comment section, maybe like, where am I going with this? And it's when it comes to those Snapchats where it's like, oh, what's a character that died too early? What's a show reference or something like that? And then everyone in the comments says, elite ball knowledge, oh my god. It's not elite ball knowledge! Okay. We'll get to that. I'm going to give 4 examples, ranging from really bad to genuinely awful. So the first example was I was, just looking around, and I found one where I don't have a video for this, but it was like, POV, I'm on flight, Oceanic 815, there's a man in a wheelchair, there's a fat guy who keeps calling me bro, there's an ex-Iraqi soldier, there's a woman, handcuffed to a briefcase with a marshal next to her, there's a doctor, there's a con man, basically, there's an Asian couple, basically, it's describing all the people on the plane from Lost. If you don't know what Lost is, it was an extremely popular show in the early 2000s about a bunch of people who went on a flight, Oceanic 815, and crashed in a basically magical island. That's the simplest way I can put the description of Lost. So, everyone, real quick, everyone in the comics was like, oh my god, that's such ball knowledge, elite ball knowledge, oh my god, Lost reference in the big 2026, elite ball knowledge. What? What? I'm sorry. Lost is an insanely popular, I mean, not nowadays, but it was an insanely popular TV show. I mean, it was one of the TV shows that was known as the golden age of the early 2000s. It ran the early 2000s with what it was. It is revolutionary in serialized television and mystery television. I mean, I'm pretty sure it made its own genre of television with, I forget what it's called, like Mystery in a Box. Like, it was insanely revolutionary for television, all television. But, no, it's elite ball knowledge to know. Also, on IMDb, how many IMDb reviews it has. Okay, think of, like, insanely popular shows nowadays, like, recently. Like, Squid Games, Daredevil, The Boys, Invincible, I know, okay, Severance, shows like that, all really popular. Oh, The Good Place, like, all shows like that, all really popular, right, at a time. Well, they don't have, I think all of them are below 500,000 reviews, the only one, if you know, Squid Games, all of them have, like, below 500,000 reviews to them. Lost has, I believe, almost 700,000 reviews to it. That's really good. That's one of the most reviewed shows ever. And also, like, I asked people around, and I'm like, hey, you know what Lost is? And he's like, well, I haven't seen it, but I know what it is, I swear to God, if you ask anyone over 35, they'll probably know what Lost is, It was an insanely popular show. So, how are we getting to elite ball knowledge? Stupid! Okay, next one is, like, I actually don't really know the context. It's something about the Amazing Digital Circus. I don't watch it, so I don't really know what they're talking about. But I do know some of the statistics on their views. And then people were like, oh my god, peak reference, peak show, what a elite ball knowledge of a show. Sorry? Doesn't the pilot have like 400 million views? That's like all of America. Even like the third largest country in population, and size, both. Anyways, that's like the entire country. I mean, come on. Each video gets like tens of millions of views. I don't know what they were talking about, but like, no shot, a show that gets more views than basically any animated show airing in the past decade is Elite Ball Knowledge. That makes no sense. I'm sorry, getting like 50 million views a video is not qualifiable for Elite Ball Knowledge. Like, what are we on about here? I don't know what they're talking about, but I haven't seen the show, but still, it's stupid. Anyways, now my third example. This is what the last two are where I'm starting to get mad. So, have you ever seen those videos where it's like, name a character whose death hurt you so much, or name a character who died too early to become a good guy? And of course, everyone, because Snapchat just has so many, like, 14-year-olds and 13-year-olds who've only watched Stranger Things. They're like, Billy from Stranger Things died too soon. Eddie from Stranger Things, I'm not keeping up that voice. Eddie from Stranger Things, he's so sad. I was wrecked for years. Everyone's like that. That's fine. I'm chill. Those are two good modern examples of maybe a character whose death impacted you, than a character who died too early after his redemption arc wasn't fully completed. Okay, those are two good examples. Now, what makes me mad is, hey, what can you guess? People in the comments being like, oh my god, this is such a peak reference. Oh, Elite Ball Knowledge, you know ball. They do not know ball. Like, what are you on about? Okay, remember when I said the viewer thing? Lost, one of the highest reviewed shows of all time, 600 to 700,000 reviews, right? More than almost any modern show. Yeah, Stranger Things has 1.6 million. You know how many that is? That's, actually, it's not more than Game of Thrones. Like, Stranger Things is one of the very few modern shows that have reached, shows in the past decade that have reached the level of iconicness and like level where it's a cultural phenomenon like Game of Thrones, like Breaking Bad, only season 5 though, like The Walking Dead. Shows like this that they are so insanely popular that everyone is talking about this. No, the other show that I could think of would be The Boys. Those two shows are just titans with how big they were in media, which, like, I didn't watch either show when their final season came out. Now I've seen Stranger Things, have yet to see The Boys, but still, I heard so much about these two shows. Like, I swear to God, I could not, like, stop seeing content about this show. Like, every time you refresh a review, For You page or whatever, I would always get at least one video about either show when their final seasons were airing. Because they were just that popular. It felt like everyone was talking about it, even if you weren't even in that group of people. Especially, I mean, like I said, Stranger Things, I think, is in the, like, top 5 most reviewed shows of all time. Like, it is one of the most popular shows ever. It's the most popular show in the past decade, and one of the most popular shows ever. And, Eddie is, like, one of the biggest deaths in Stranger Things. Like, I didn't know who Billy was and how he died. I only knew Chrissy because there's a really annoying song that people made. I didn't know who Bob Newman was or Dr. Brenner. Like, those deaths, those don't matter. But I knew who Eddie was. Eddie is probably the most popular death in Stranger Things that I would know of. That I know of. That I've seen, right? So how, in the most popular show in a decade, the most popular death in said most popular show, how is that Elite Ball Knowledge? Billy's just as bad too. I mean, again, most popular show in the past decade, and we're calling 2 of the biggest deaths in the show Elite Ball Knowledge? We're not making sense here. Okay, so finally, we have our last example, which was another one where it's like, name a death that hurt you, that so impacted you. Best death in cinema, whatever. Or best sacrifice, I think it was. You know something said? Tony Stark in Avengers Endgame. Okay. Before I yell, I'm gonna be mad. You wanna know how popular Endgame was? It was, until after a re-release, the highest grossing film of all time, not counting for inflation. It had a 1.2 billion box office open. You know what the number 2 is? I'm pretty sure. It was Infinity Wars with like a 600 million. That is double. You don't know how crazy Endgame's box office. While I still think Spider-Man No Way Home had a more impressive box office by the fact that it didn't even release in China and made $2 billion, still, they made almost $3 billion, and when it re-releases this September, I'm almost positive it's gonna pass $3 billion. So, $3 billion movie. It was a cultural phenomenon, like how I was mentioning with Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad Season 5, shows like that. This was also a cultural phenomenon. I swear to God, if you did not see... I swear to God so many times. Anyways, if you did not see Avengers Endgame, you missed out on a talk for a month. I'm sorry. I knew so many... I kid you not. I watched Avengers Endgame 3 times in its opening weekend. One by myself, one with some friends and family, and then I think another time. My brother watched it 4 times in an opening weekend. I mean, you have... And, everyone, as soon as I finished the movie, was like, Tony Stark died, Tony Stark died, Tony Stark died. Endgame is one of my big reasons for why, spoilers are so common now. Because everyone wants to say how Tony Stark died. After it aired, everyone around me was just talking about it. Talking about Endgame. It is a cultural phenomenon. It is one of the biggest films, if not the biggest film, ever. You know? And what's the most popular scene? The final battle in Endgame. Okay. What's the best and most popular part of that? Probably the portal scene. Okay. But what's the second best? Yeah, Tony Stark's sacrifice. I mean, actually, that's the best scene. That's better than portal scene. It's just not more iconic, I'd say. Tony Stark's death was... It's probably the biggest scene in any comic book show ever. Not show. Any comic book movie ever. I mean, it was that big. I mean, again, $3 billion movie, almost. And the biggest moment in that film. You know, cultural phenomenon across the world, basically. But that's elite ball knowledge. Yeah, we're just gonna call anything elite ball knowledge now. Come on! This is supposed to be the opposite of uncommon knowledge. This is the most common knowledge you can put out for any film, ever. Anyways, yeah, this has just been a 13-minute rant about the same thing over and over again, but I swear to God, if anyone uses this word again after watching this video, which I know, this video will be elite ball knowledge. It will be. Hopefully not, actually. Hopefully it gets views. But this will be, and I hate this word. I just don't keep that clear. I hate this word so much. If you use this word, shame on you.